Hi everyone, welcome back to the Embee Makes Knitting podcast. As you might hear, I have a bit of a cold, but I really wanted to record today because it's nice and sunny, so the lighting is good, and I had the day off today, so yeah, let's get started right away. Today I will try a different format. I will not show by finished object, whip and acquisitions, but I will mix it up a bit and maybe do by category because I have lots of whips, some finished objects and yarn to show you today. So yeah, the first thing I want to show you are these penny gloves by Petite Knit. I was inspired by Laura from Penrose Knits. I love watching her podcast, and she was knitting a lot of them as gifts for her son's teacher and for family members. So yeah, I needed some gloves to keep my hands warm now that it's a lot colder and also inside. So yeah, I knit these. I used one strand of hand-dyed merino sock yarn and a strand of drops brushed alpaca in a matching color. They don't look very similar when you hold them next to each other, but I really like the finished fabric it created. It's really beautiful pink, and it's a really dense fabric, so they're really nice and warm. And yeah, they fit nicely. I do think that when I make these again, because they're perfect gift knit, I will only use one strand or maybe a thinner second strand, because they do fall a bit loosely now that I've worn them. But yeah, they're still nice and warm, so they're perfect gifts or for yourself. So to go with this, well, after this one, I knew I wanted to make a pair as a gift, so I cast on a blue pair. This is just the beginning of the first one with this beautiful hand-dyed yarn. I had this in stash for, I think maybe a year. It was the first hand-dyed yarn I got, but I didn't make a project with it yet. I was thinking about socks, but wasn't sure which pattern. So yeah, this is a really nice blue. It's really soft, so I think it would make a perfect pair of penny gloves. And as you might have seen from the last skein of hand-dyed yarn, it goes a long way, so maybe I'm able to make some socks out of these when the penny gloves are finished, or use them as stripes in other socks or contrast color. So yeah, these are a gift. Then another accessory that I'm knitting, and that's also a gift, is the well-known Sophie scarf by Petite Knit. I have knit two of these already for myself. The first one was to try out the pattern with some drops merino extra fine in a lovely purple color. It's a nice project to take on the go, so I took it when I was commuting to work. And then another one with some more speckly yarn, which I will all probably show in a future video about everything I've knit this year, because it was my first full year of knitting. I do have quite a lot of things to show. Not that much garments, but more accessory and sock heavy, I think. But I will try and make that video. But about this one, I'm knitting this for my mom. She already has a hat with the same yarn. I got 2 skeins of the yarn because I wasn't sure how much I needed. But I have a full skein. I had a full skein left after the hat, so I wanted to make her something to match. And yeah, she asked me to make a scarf, so I did. Well, I am making a scarf. So I hope to get this done by Christmas. But it goes by quite fast, and yeah, I can take this with me on the train or when I go out and have a bit of knitting time. Sticking with the Sophie theme, I am also knitting for myself this time a Sophie shawl, because I wanted something a bit bigger to hold my neck warm when it's cold outside. So yeah, this is what I got so far. I'm using Drops Air in this light gray color. I chose this because I already had this in stash. And yeah, it's a great neutral color to go with all my coats and jackets. So yeah, it's really pretty, a bit heathered, which I like, and it's also very soft. The sweater I'm wearing, by the way, I think it's really chaotic episode, but the sweater I'm wearing is also in Drops Air. It's the Embee sweater I test knit at the beginning of this year. But I will talk about it more in a future episode about all the things I've knit this year. So yeah, this Sophie scarf I'm hoping to finish soon, but it's quite a quick knit as it's on, I'm using 4.5mm needles for this yarn, and yeah, the fabric is great. So yeah, I want to finish it soon so I can start wearing it. And I'm planning to make another Sophie shawl, but with this yarn, Kimberlow's Snoofnook. I first heard about this yarn from Caroline from Caroline's Knits on her podcast, and yeah, I think it's really similar to the Drops Air, like maybe better quality. I don't know. I'm eager to try and find out. It's a bit pricier also. So yeah, I got this yarn from my boyfriend. He got this to me as a Christmas gift. He went to London last week, and I asked him to maybe buy me some yarn, as there are a lot of lovely yarn shops there. So yeah, he got me this. I got 3 skeins, so I'm thinking that will be enough for a nice cozy Sophie shawl. But first I have to finish the one I'm knitting before I cast another one on. So I think that's all the accessories I'm knitting or have knit. Yeah. So now let's move on to socks. First I will show you my finished socks of this episode, which are the Sunday socks by Petite Knit again. Can you tell I'm a fan? So I started this in October for Socktober, This was one of the pairs I started, and I finally finished them. I did finish them earlier this month. It's now the 14th of December, so like around beginning of December more. And I've blocked these and worn them already at home. They are really lovely. I've used Drops yarn, the Merino Extra Fine. So yeah, they're really nice and thick. They also make a perfect gift knit, as they are small and you use quite big needles for these socks. And it's an easy pattern, so also great for beginners. Then next sock is also from Socktober, and it's these. These are the biscuit socks. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, and normally it's a DK weight pattern, but I've used some hand-dyed fingering yarn. It's merino by Ginger and Thyme. I really love this fall color. Well, now it's more winter, but I still love the color. And yeah, these match the stitch gauge I usually do for socks, so I don't think it's a problem size-wise for me. And I finally put the heel in, but this is only the first sock, so I have some knitting to do on this. But I'm glad I picked this up again, because yeah, I haven't knit that much on this, and I really do love the yarn, the fabric, so can't wait to wear this finished sock. And then I have another sock I started, well, not in October, but right after, and it's also this beautiful fall sock. These are the Into the Wild socks. This was a knit along, but I didn't knit it at that time. I started after, but yeah, I'm making good progress. I did the color work. These were my second color work socks, so yeah, I'm quite pleased with what I created here. And I'm just going to keep knitting along tube until the toe. Do toe decreases in this dark green color to match the cuff, and then add a heel as an afterthought heel, as I've done with my previous colorwork socks, which were the jagged little socks I test knit. Because I find it easiest to do with colorwork socks and when working with these 9-inch circular needles. So yeah, hope to, well, at least finish one sock maybe by the end of the year, which isn't long anymore. Okay, and speaking about test knitting, I am test knitting the Santorini socks by Breibelly. These are lovely, thick, wintry socks with lovely color work and nice heel flap and gusset. I know these look tiny and I have small feet, but I did try this on and it fits perfectly. It's nice and snug. It does stretch a bit. It's really warm. And I'm working on the second sock. I have the color work done. I'm just about ready to start the heel. And then it's just, yeah, finishing the foot and toe and weaving in the ends. So this is my priority knit. Well, it's only, the deadline is at the beginning of January, but I hope to finish these this weekend, so I can wear them. Other socks I need to finish quite soon are these. I've shown the yarn in my previous episode. This is the yarn I got on a little trip with my boyfriend. And I got this for my grandmother to go with her v-neck vest. Because she loves purple, and when I saw this purple, yeah, I had to think about her. So, and yeah, I think she could really use some nice warm socks. She has told me before that she really does like the socks I knit. And I hadn't knit socks for anyone but myself up until now. So I wanted to give her a pair of socks for Christmas this year. I probably won't be able to knit the full pair because, yeah, it's already a week and a half away only until Christmas. So I will knit her this one so she can try it on, and so that I'm sure it fits, and then I can knit her the second one. Two other socks I think to talk about. One of them is a stripy sock. I cast this on beginning of November to take on a trip where I got my grandmother's yarn. Because yeah, it's just knitting in the round, striping, well, it's self-striping, so that's easy. And I'm doing this also with an afterthought heel, so I will just knit until I got used maybe half of the yarn. Then put in a toe in the same color as the cuff, which is another just solid yarn I'm using, and then put in an afterthought heel. And I will try and make these matching with the stripes. But yeah, if they're not perfectly matching, I don't mind, because they're just socks. Nobody will notice, and yeah, that makes them unique. And the last pair of socks are, well, it's a sock plan, and that's with this hand-dyed yarn, again from Ginger and Thyme. And this is a Christmassy yarn, so it's beautiful pink with specks of green and red, with a matching green for the heels and cuffs and toes. I will be doing this with some short circulars again. I do like knitting with short circulars, but also magic loop I don't really mind. That's how I knit my first sock, so I'm used to knitting like that. But for color work or just really simple knitting in the round, I do like the short circulars. So this will be my Christmas weekend cast on. I will cast these on next Saturday. Just a simple pair of socks with a contrasting heel. Yeah, I will knit these between Christmas and New Year's because I have a few days off. And that makes a lovely project with some good memories attached to it, I hope. So that's all for the socks. Then one last category is the garment category, which I only have two of. And I will start with something new I cast on since last episode, because then I had finished my grandmother's slipover, and I wanted a slipover for myself as well. But I didn't make the same pattern. I'm knitting the Friday slipover by Petite Knit. Again, Petite Knit. She has really lovely patterns. I'm knitting it with Lang Yarns Merino 120. This beautiful, beautiful rust burnt orange color. Yeah, I'm only here at the beginning of the bag, so I have a lot of knitting to go. But this has been on hold for a bit as I was knitting all the accessories and socks. So I will make some more time to knit on this. But I don't think this will be finished by the end of the year. But that's fine. I will be knitting again next year. And one last thing I want to show you is the progress, well, not so much, but on my Chunky Dahlia. I have finished the chart for the leaves. So I can, well, I have to knit some more, do some raglan increases, and then I can split for the body and sleeves, and then it's just simple knitting in the round. So I think this will, yeah, go a bit faster from now on. It's Drops Air that I'm using, which is the same as this. It's really soft. I really love how it turned out, and the color goes really well with the pattern, I think. Yeah, I haven't made much progress on this because I had to, for the charts, sit at my desk to work on it. But now, yeah, I can take it downstairs and it's just some simple stockinette in front of the TV. So that's perfect. Yeah, that's it for the garments. I do have some more garment plans, but I won't be casting anything new on, I think, before the new year. I want to make some progress on those ones first. So I think that's it for today. I want to wish you all a happy holidays and happy end of the year. And we will see each other again in the new year, I hope. Bye!